Hello, and how are you doing this evening? I fully realize that this is ordinarily a wide open, free for all format called Casual Fridays. This is normally James' time slot, but he wasn't able to come in this evening, and I am in crisis. Um, I'm in the midst of a full blown anxiety attack. Um, as I'm speaking to you right now, I'm trying to deal with it, and I don't know that I'm doing so well. Now, uh, I'll be okay. I am fine in that sense. I will be okay. However, I'm freaking out internally right now, and I don't even know why. I don't have any rhyme nor reason why I should be feeling this way. Um, Sorry, I had to clear my throat. And because this is a studio mic, I won't do that in your ear because it would be very loud and very unpleasant. I am vibrating, and that's the best way I can describe what I'm going through right now. So I'm going to have a beer to try and bring it down a little bit, if that makes any sense. It's okay, Steve. Um, and thank you, Luna. It's okay. I will get through this. I absolutely will. I always do, but I do think it's important that when I'm going through this, that I occasionally reach out and talk about it and tell people what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling. And this is one of those moments where I just don't know what to say. I am bereft of thoughts and ideas, and as I said a moment ago, I am vibrating. Like literally, I can feel my heart beating in my chest. I can hear it in my ears. I can feel it in my throat. And I have no reason to feel this way. Like none. Honest to goodness, oh, Luna, I'm so sorry to learn of this. Oh, I hope things turn around for you very soon, Luna. I really do. I, I'm so sorry. You know, sorry. I find when I go through what I'm going through that I get phlegmy and my throat will get very dry and com- complicated. I don't know. I'm having a beer because it's the only downer I can physically ingest and not completely mess up my psyche. Mild poison, if you will. So here's the thing. I don't know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling right now. I have no rhyme nor reason for it. I have no explanation. I cannot tell you why I am suddenly in the midst of a full blown anxiety attack. I had a good day. I mean, it wasn't a work day because it is a statutory holiday for those of you who celebrate, um, I guess for Christians who celebrate Easter. This was Good Friday. Easter is, of course, Sunday, and then it's extended into Monday. But Good Friday is not necessarily a rejoiceful day. It's supposed to be a day of solemn reflection. Uh, I was raised Irish Catholic, so um, I get it. I don't. I don't particularly observe anymore. Um, I'm going to leave it at that because again, we don't talk about those things on this show. This show is about love and kindness and acceptance and how we can help each other through difficult times. And right now, I'm in one of those difficult times. And again, there is no rhyme, no reason for it. There was nothing that triggered it. You know, oftentimes we have traumatic events in our lives throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year, where we can go, oh my God, I'm freaking out and I don't know why. And then we might be able to sit down and do some personal inspection and reflection and discover it's because of this, or it's because of that, or it's because of that thing over there. And I have none of that right now. None of it. Sorry if you heard that. There was a bell that just went off on my computer screen. I apologize if that was a loud thing in your ear. I am struggling and I'm trying to figure out why. And I don't know. I don't know. I no, I honestly I don't know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling right now. I had a productive day. We did a great morning show live stream. I did some editing work in the afternoon. Did a lot of housework, got a lot of things done, accomplished for spring cleaning. I have more to do tomorrow. That's okay. I didn't intend to get it all done today. I took a nice nap and then I went and met some friends at the pub. And I should be ecstatic and feeling glorious and happy and joyous. And I don't feel like any of that right now. I am a complete freaking mess. So much so that um, when I said that I'm vibrating, I'm not joking. I'm doing it when I'm speaking. I can't bring myself to the calm level that I like to present to you so that I can help you right now. Right now, I'm trying to calm myself. I'm trying to bring myself to a calm and centered place, but I am struggling horribly. Now, I know this is temporary. I know this will pass. I'm well aware of this. I know it's not permanent. I know this because I've been dealing with this for a gigantic portion of my life. All of that being said, it doesn't change the feelings and the emotions that I'm going through right now. My heart is racing. I'm trying my best to control my breathing. I would really like to speak to you in my calm and soothing voice that I normally do this with, but I am incapable of that right now. I am freaking out. This is what an anxiety attack looks like, especially for those of us who have masked it our entire lives. If I were to walk by you in the street or um, order a coffee or a beverage or a plate of food beside you in a restaurant or a pub or a cafe right now, you would not know that I was feeling what I'm feeling. You wouldn't know that I'm feeling what I'm feeling if I didn't express it to you like I am right now. It's because generational. here's where it gets complicated. Hmm. Societal generational issues. And I'm not about to say I have an answer for any of it because I don't. I have a million and one questions. And here's the thing. Trying to breathe through it. Here's the thing. I don't get upset at younger people who express what they're feeling when they're feeling it. I don't. I wish I knew better how to do it. Society and the generation that I grew up in would not allow us to um, feel what we're feeling and express it on the surface, if that makes any sense. There was a time, and that time is largely now in a weird way, where if you felt an emotion such as what I'm going through right now, let's push it down, jam it down, compress it, don't deal with it. You're at work, get your job done. And there's a weird part of me that understands that, only because I lived it for decades. And I I'm not smart enough to know or say whether or not it's good to completely throw it out the window or observe a portion of it for today. I don't know. Here's the complication. Do we look at it today and go, this person is suffering terribly, give them a few moments so that they can try and recover? Or the complete opposite end of the spectrum is like, shut your mouth and get back to work, which is not good. It's terrible for productivity. It's terrible for humanity. It's terrible for people. It's terrible all the way around. But I'm wondering if there's a medium in there somewhere. It's like, okay, I understand you're going through a few things. Take a few minutes, try and recover. If you can't, go home. We'll see what we can do to cover your shift. Is that a better way? I don't know. I don't have any answers. I have a million questions, and I am always trying to learn how to be a better human being. Expressing compassion for each other, I think it's good. Expressing empathy where and when it's possible is good. Sympathy, I'm not so sure about. Um, I'm not so sure about because I don't think I have enough. I don't think I have enough um, experience to relate to it. Does that make any sense? I, wow. You zoom out a little bit here. I'm troubled and I'm feeling a lot of emotions. Life is not easy. It is difficult and complex and troublesome. And I don't know how to express to anyone how you should feel in a situation like this. I don't think I could ever say to anybody, well, if you're having an anxiety attack, you should just go sit in the corner and be quiet. And I couldn't say that to somebody. Um, I think the way I would react is to approach the individual and say, are you okay? How may I help? Do you need someone to sit with you? Can I call a friend for you? Do you want to go home? Do you need some free time alone? Do you need a quiet place to lie down? Do you need a parent or a family member or a sibling or somebody that can sit with you and be with you? Or would you prefer to have somebody completely anonymous to just sit beside you to make sure you're okay while you're going through this? And I think all of those might be good questions, but I honestly, truthfully, I don't know. I don't know how to ask any of those questions or answer any of those questions. I know I just asked them here, but what I'm doing is in a hypothetical, here's what I'm thinking might work well. I don't know if it could work at all. And I don't know if that makes sense. I'm, still freaking out internally and vibrating internally. So I'm trying to parse my thoughts as best I can in the midst of a full blown anxiety attack. I haven't had anything of this caliber or this caliber, this level, this nature in quite some time. Um, the last time I felt exactly like this was a year ago. It was almost a full year ago. It was June this time last year, 2022. And I was at the Jazz Fest to see Holly Cole Trio. And, as I'm a jazz fan, and I love Holly Cole's music. I love her voice. I love her style. I love the way she conducts herself on stage and in life. And I remember standing there outside. Outside. I was in the concert. I had tickets. I was standing there, not too far back from the stage, and the whole time I was thinking to myself, "Just breathe, Paul. Just breathe. Just breathe. You're here to see and experience this. You came here for this. This is something you paid for. Breathe through it. You need to get through it." And in all honesty, and I hate to say it, but it's true, most of the concert was, um, well, I don't recall it correctly or clearly. I think one of the best ways to describe this experience when one is in the midst of it is, at least for me, it's a gray sphere, a giant gray sphere. And you can see that there's stuff on this side of it and that side of it. And even if you look clearly, you can see through it, but everything you're trying to observe is kind of clouded. And you can't hear properly and you can't feel anything because your heart is beating so fast. And all you're thinking is, just give me something to chill the hell out to. And I couldn't find that. And here's the worst part. The worst part. This is a woman I've been a fan of for 30 plus years. And I have her to thank for selling a lot of speakers when I was selling commercial audio. I would take there's a particular pair of speakers I would sell to worship service places, churches. And they would say, "Well, we need to improve our sound system." I'm like, "Oh, I think I have the right thing for you." And I would bring in a specific model of speakers that they're not manufactured anymore. The science and technology has changed a lot since then. But at the time, these were pretty much state of the art. And I have a pair. They're at my mom and dad's, and I use them to DJ with because they're very loud. They're very accurate. They don't require a lot of power, and they sound incredible. So I'd bring the speakers in, and I'd say, "Well, we can put them on the altar if you like, but if we're going to do that, we need to go to the back of the church so we can really get the full embellishment, what these loudspeakers can do." And the minister or the priest or the pastor, usually a minister or priest, didn't encounter a lot of pastors actually, would say, "Okay, that sounds great, Paul. Let's do this." So I would plug in a CD player, and a big honking amplifier, and I would put on Holly Cole Trio. I Can See Clearly Now. And if you have ever heard her version of this song, I'll put a link in the chat. Just give me a minute here while I find it on YouTube because holy Hannah. It's now you have to understand. I would put this song on in a house of worship, a church, and it was usually in an older church because this the older part of town that I worked in at the time, so it would be giant cathedral like, if you will. And I would play this song, and every single time, within 30 seconds, they would look at it and go, "I'll take them." And I go, "Okay." And I'd walk towards, and they go, "No, I want to hear the rest of the song." And here's why. This rendition is, and always will be spectacular. Now, give me a second while I find it here. And I do have to cough, so I'm going to. So it's, here we go. I've got a link to it right here. Bear with me while I pull it up. And I will put this link in the chat because, wow. So this is the Holly Cole Trio with their version of I Can See Clearly Now, which was originally written by and recorded by Jimmy Cliff, who I was fortunate enough to see a few years ago at Blues Fest here in Ottawa. And this version of this song was a blockbuster. It always closed the deal. It never failed. And I knew this because, well, if you listen to this song, and don't listen to it on your laptop speakers, don't do that. You need to have the best possible headphones you own, or if you're lucky enough to have a nice hi-fi, big stereo system, sound system, listen to it on that. But I'd recommend the best headphones you have so you can begin to understand how great this recording is. And I'm waxing poetically about it because it's actually slowing my heart rate. Just thinking about that song is calming me down, which I am very thankful for because I was freaking the hell out. I really was. So much so that I was worried about how I was going to be able to sleep this evening. But I think I'll record a jazz show later tonight. And I'll post that. And that will be helpful to me. And if you like jazz, let me give you a link to it. I do have a link to it here somewhere. Just bear with me for a second while I pull it up. And if you like jazz, you might like this show. Yes, this is shameless self-promotion. I do get that, but um, one second. I haven't. Oh, here's a link. This is the link is here in the chat for this. Here we go. This is for what? I don't know what happened there. Just a second. There it is. So it's available on Apple Podcasts amongst a number of other services. It's on Deezer, Amazon Music, Spotify, Google. It's on a number of services. But here's the Apple one, and it's a jazz show that I do. I put together. It's a playlist of jazz songs and stories, and I've been doing it for a couple of years now. What is the latest? The latest episode is 81, I think. I think the latest episode is 81. And I'll be working on another episode very soon, as in, like, shortly after I finish this. I also have a pop music show that I like to do as well. But here's the thing. Um, if you are um, a member of this community, and you know somebody who could benefit from this, you know somebody who could benefit from both my rather inane observations and insights into the human spirit and psyche and what it's like to live and deal with anxiety and depression. And if you think you know somebody that could benefit from this, or that would just appreciate the sense of community that we're building amongst each other in the chat specifically. Oh, goodness, I feel terrible about asking, but please ask them to subscribe. Share and subscribe. Um, and it feels weird to ask that because I don't do this for money. I do this because I do care, and I know what it's like to be out there alone, twisting in the wind on your own. But the thing is this, if we can bring people into this community that we're building together, and it is something we're doing together, if we can bring people in who need um well, whatever help I can provide, which I don't think is much, quite honestly, because I'm not a doctor. Um, I'm just a I'm just a dumb old guy, dumb old white guy who's gone through some stuff, and I want to be able to share how I deal with that with as many people as I can, because I know that not everybody has someone to talk to about this, let alone oftentimes we suffer in silence. So if you think you know somebody who could benefit from this, benefit from this community that we're building together, and we are doing this together, then please share and subscribe. I I just want to help as many people as I can. And I understand that many people don't have access to mental health supports, and this is not a replacement for therapy or medication or even determination of what may be going on with you. But I might be able to help you get pointed in the right direction. Maybe we can, if need be, and please tell me if I'm stepping out of line here, but maybe we can raise money for somebody who really needs to get some money to get some help. I'm lucky enough to live in Canada where mental health, although we have to invest a lot more into it, it is covered by our provincial health plan. And I do have supplemental insurance through my employer as well. All of that being said, we need to pour more into it. We need to do more work. We need to invest more money. We need to hire more people. There's a lot more that can be done, but I am hopeful. I'm hopeful, and I would like to think that we could bring people to this community that could benefit from this, and like I said, maybe we can point them in the right direction, or at least maybe help raise funds for them. If we do a fundraiser for anyone, I will have no fingers in the pie. It will be done through a third party. Um, I'm 100% above board on this. It would be done through a third party, and the money would go to that person. I'm I'm not doing this to raise money for myself. I have a job that pays me. I just want to make that crystal clear. If there's any room for misinterpretation, please I don't do this for anything other than the fact that I do know that there are people out there in this world who suffer horribly and have no one to turn to, no one to talk to, and no community to be a part of. So I'm just trying to build this so that I can help as many people as possible. And collectively, we can point this person in the right direction, whomever that may be. I have friends who are doctors and therapists, and um, I'm going to try and get them involved, but we're trying to figure out the legal aspects of it because their involvement would be um, as anonymous professionals, because I can't name names and I can't um, point anybody towards their services. Do you understand how that works? Again, this is all about helping each other, and doing so, I'm going to be 100% above board about it at all times. This is not self serving, and yet it's self serving, if that makes any sense. I do gain satisfaction when occasionally someone will say, "Hey, you really helped out so and so. They were going through a rough patch and they needed an understanding voice, but an anonymous one, so they could just tune in and watch from a distance and not necessarily take part, but just know that there's other people out there going through the same things." Knowing that someone else is experiencing what they're experiencing made a difference for them. And I've had a few people approach me and tell me that. And that is the reason I continue to do this. I would like to think in some very small and tiny way I was able to help somebody. I think just being a part of a community like this where we can chat amongst ourselves, we can help each other. Now, let's be perfectly clear. This is not advice. Um, this is not 12 rules. This is just an old, white, mediocre male telling you how he's been able to deal. And I'm hoping that you can add to the conversation. I'm hoping that we can help as many people as possible without ever having to open up a wallet. I do this because, yes, I care. And yes, I want to prevent harm coming to people, but also because I know what it's like to be out there twisting in the wind on your own, feeling like you're completely alone and not knowing that there are other people out there who have experienced what you're going through and care and want to make a difference and want to help you. Do I know what it's like to be a woman who's experienced sexual assault? Well, of course I don't. I'm a look at this guy. Just no, I don't know what that's like. I'll never know what that's like. But I want you to know that if you want to come here and talk about it anonymously, and you don't have to give me your name, you don't have to give me any information that you don't want to give. I just want to help as many people as I possibly can, and I'm not going to ask questions. And I have said time and time again, and I will reiterate the fact that when I say everyone is welcome here, I do mean that. People I disagree with, people whose political aspirations are radically different than mine. None of those things matter as long as you understand one simple rule. You leave your politics, your religion, and your judgment of others at the door. If you come into this space and you are feeling you need to be here because you are suffering, you are welcome. Period. No judgment. Leave all those things at the front door. Step into this space. Sit down. Relax. Get comfortable. Share. Don't share. Entirely up to you. I'm the one who will do the talking. You can join in on the chat, and I will be happy to respond to you in whatever way you see fit. My goal here is to help anyone who is suffering, anyone who is feeling pain, anyone who is feeling alone, anyone who is feeling sad and depressed and lonely and feeling like they have nowhere else to go. You have a place here. You are welcome here. I want you to feel as comfortable as you can here. And I want you to understand that you are accepted here. And I don't know much else I can say about that. Who you are, where you're from, what your background is of no relevance to the experience you're going through right now, because you could be a son or a daughter or a brother of a sister or an actual billionaire. Your emotions are your emotions. You feel what you feel. They're real and they're valid. You could be wealthy, poor, middle class, new to this part of the world, just visiting. If you are in crisis, if you are suffering, if you are feeling like you're lost and alone and abandoned, I want you to know I understand that. I've felt it more times than I care to mention. And I want you to know that you are welcome here. You can sit here with us, chat, don't chat, anonymously listen. No matter. I'm 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 just happy if I can help. That's it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less, not complicated, just simple and straightforward. If you need a place to be, if you need someone to talk to, if you need to be heard, I'm here for you. And I don't know what else to say beyond that. I think that's about all there is to say, really. You're welcome here. Remember to leave your politics, your religion, and your judgment at the door before you step into this place. When you're in this community, you're accepted. But you need to be willing to be accepted, and you need to be willing to accept that sometimes some people may have a different experience than you, may have a different opinion than you. And you need to understand that all of that is okay. Nothing here but love. Love and acceptance. And I think kind of all I got to say about it tonight. This wasn't planned, obviously, because here we are. I was thinking about this evening. Oftentimes I contribute to another show on Friday evenings, and I reached out to my friend and I said, are you going to do a show? And he's like, no. I said, okay, I have to go live because I got to talk. So here I am, and here we are, and I'm still babbling. And I think about how much it means to me that All of you, hmm, all of you chose to be here. You didn't have to be, and I thank you for that. Because the community that we're building also helps me. I get back as much from you as whatever you get from me. I get probably a lot more from you than you'll ever get from me because I'm just one person. And I look in the chat, and there's a number of people who are contributing and saying such wonderful, kind things. And I thank each and every one of you for that. Okay. I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it an evening. My heart isn't racing nearly as much. I'm much calmer than I was when I began this, and I'm feeling like okay, I'll be able to get a couple hours sleep. Tomorrow's a busy day. I have many things to do, but if I can get a couple hours sleep this evening, some peaceful rest, which each and every one of us always need, I'm going to be okay. Oh, Mr. Fulton Mars. Talk to me, sir. You're having a lot of anxiety? What's up? Um, as I began this program this evening, I was in the midst of a full-blown anxiety attack. I'm not fully out of it. I am still experiencing some of it for sure, I can tell you that. But I'm much calmer now than I was 45 minutes ago. I'm considerably calmer now than I was 45 minutes ago when I was literally on the edge of my seat trying to figure out how I was going to get through this evening, how I was going to cope. You need to understand that I had originally planned to be a part of another program this evening. I was going to contribute to another show, but the host of that show is not capable. So I said, do you mind if I take the time slot? So here I am. So here I am, occupying my friend's time slot because he was so kind to give it to me. So I can try and work through the anxiety that I'm going through at the moment. And as I said, I'm feeling much better than I was 45 minutes ago. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me this evening because it helped to bring me back down to earth. And I know it's been me just babbling incessantly. Oh my goodness. Mr. Fulton. I'm sorry to learn of this. I'm just reading through the chat and some of the comments. Well, I'm not sure what to say. That's tough. To go what you went through. I don't even know where to begin with that, sir. I've been through it a couple of times. Perhaps in my case, the last time I was in a car accident was more than 30 years ago. And to that end, I would have to say this. It was 1992, and we were not really accustomed to expressing the emotions we were feeling at the time. We were very much accustomed to, oh, you'll be fine, get over it. Just, just ignore it. Ignore that. You're just, whatever. You're going through some crap, just whatever. You got to get out there and get back on that horse and ride it tall. Well, here's the thing. I wasn't driving. I was a passenger We were on our way to a funeral, and we almost got killed. Oh, yes, I have stories. The sad part, not the car accident, not the fact that we almost got killed. The sad part was we were going to a funeral of a friend who decided that she didn't want to be here anymore. And I had no idea she was suffering. And at the time, I didn't even know what I was going through. This is, like I said, 31 years ago, 1992. And she decided that she no longer wanted to be a part of this world, which is terribly sad because she was a beautiful woman and a lovely person, and I do miss her. And I do recall when my buddy who was he had been dating her for some time called me to tell me, he says, so and so decided that last night would be the last night she would be here. And I was like, what? Oh, don't tell me this. Don't tell me this. He's like, I'm sorry, dude. It's what took place. She's gone. She's gone. So we went to her service and almost died in the process. Then a few weeks later, we went to his mother's service and almost died in that process. Yeah, he got hit pretty hard very quickly. First his girlfriend, then his mom, in a matter of 6 weeks. And he kept smiling through all of it. Super positive guy. We hadn't seen each other in a long time. I bumped into him a few years ago, and he was the same guy I always knew. Our lives divested, and I moved to another part of town and changed jobs, and we just kind of lost touch. And you got to remember that when we were close, it was pre-internet, and yeah, now I can look up anybody online, and I've reconnected with them through Facebook. But there was a number of years there we were out of touch, and I think it was probably healthy because we both went through a fair bit of trauma. He more so than me, but I was there to witness it and was not fully aware of the fact that I was suffering from severe depression. I didn't know what was wrong with me. This was pre-diagnosis. I didn't know I had terrible anxiety. I didn't know that there was medication for it, and even if you tried to give it to me back then, I probably went, "No, that's for somebody who's weak," because we were taught that depression and anxiety were for the weak, not for just all of us who will experience these things. And you're right, Luna, we're not allowed to express those emotions for a long time. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is trauma lasts forever. It never goes away. It's always there. It's always present. You can learn how to deal with it. You can mitigate it in a multitude of ways. Depression is a chemical imbalance in the brain, as is anxiety or bipolar disorder, or even schizophrenia for that matter. I'm fortunate enough to only have a few disorders: dyslexia, ADHD, anxiety, and depression. I take medication for anxiety and depression because how many medications do you need to take on a daily basis to just get through and function? And I don't know the answer to that, but I do know this. I have found something that's working for me. I have found something that is functional for me. Do I need more medication? Maybe. I haven't ruled out the possibility that I might have to have a larger cocktail. I'm okay with it, but I I need to deal with what's in front of me right now. And having more meds, mm, I'm not ready for that yet. Thank you, Luna. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready to go down that pathway yet. I'm not ruling it out. And the day may come where I need to take more medication. And hey, there's no shame in the medicine game. There's none. I take them. Maybe you should too. Maybe. I'm not telling you what to do or how to live, but consider it. After talking with your healthcare professional, I would recommend a doctor. If your healthcare professional is a chiropractor and they say don't take medication, I would seek counsel elsewhere, but that's just me. You have to make your own decisions. It's your life, and you're the only one who can live it. Okay. I am going to take my leave because I'm quite tired. I need to finish this beer. I don't have to finish it, but I'm going to finish it. And I'm going to watch a little television. And I'm going to chill out for a little bit. I thank you for joining me this evening. I am in a considerably better place than I was when I started this some 53 minutes ago. I was in the midst of a full-blown anxiety attack, and I didn't quite know how I was going to deal with it because, as I said earlier, I had other plans for this evening, and they didn't work out. And that other set of plans would have helped me to alleviate what I was going through. And instead, I had the opportunity to spend some time with you, wonderful people, wonderful, beautiful people. And that helped me get through what I was going through. So thank you very much. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have helped me immensely by just being here, just knowing that you're here. Your response and your commentary has made a tremendous difference. Well, thank you, Luna. Can we try something together? If you are feeling what I was feeling, and I'm not feeling it nearly as much as I was an hour ago, give me 2 seconds here. Let's try this. I want you to try this with me if you can, if you're willing to, if you are up to it. Let's take a deep breath together, shall we? Please. Mhm. Let's do that a couple more times. We'll take a deep breath, we'll hold it for a few seconds, then exhale. That was 1. This is 2. Okay, let's try for a third one, shall we? Okay, 2 more. Let's go for number 4. As I clear my throat, let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it. Okay, one more. One more deep, cleansing breath. We're going to hold it for 5 seconds and breathe out. And I absolutely guarantee you will feel better. Now, please do it with me. Take a very deep breath in through the nose. And if you're stuffed up, you can't breathe through the nose, it's okay to breathe through your mouth. There are no hard, fast rules. Draw the breath in. That's the important part. I suggest holding it for 5 seconds. If you can't do it for that long, that's okay. Hold it for as long as you can. There's no hard, fast rules. It's about breathing. So let's do this on 3, 2, 1. Well, I don't know about you, but I feel much better, much more relaxed, and considerably calmer. I hope you feel the same way too. Okay, my friends, I am going to bid you adieu. And until we meet again, take care. Bye.